Hello and welcome to Builderkek, the series where we invite players in the community to take on wacky deck building challenges every week. Coming up on this week's episode. As always, we start with the theme, randomly selected from a list of 100. Alright, so this week's theme is Om Nom Nom. 3/4 of your deck must constitute cards which feature references to something vaguely edible in the art or title. So we're looking for food here, basically. There will be a lot of arguments for things along the lines of food. You know, like, is soup a food? If soup is a food, then can you drink it? And if you can drink it, is any drink a food? You know, that kind of thing. Then we've also got giant rat battles. At the start of the damage step, it destroys all edible cards on the field by game mechanics. So this rat is going out and it's eating up everything on the field. You must declare Om Nom Nom in order to implement this game mechanic of giant rat. It'll be interesting to see if we get any players bringing out the giant rat, wrecking the board. But yeah, this will be pretty cool to see. Without further ado, on to the games. Alright, so we've got Hardcore War versus J Pereira 97. So on this side we've got Rescue Rabbit, Jerry Beansman making his way onto the series, and Bean Soldier as well. Plus some Naturia stuff too. So let's just see where this goes. So J Pereira starting, just 2 set here. Might be a floater. The Mystic Tomato does come up a lot. Rescue Rabbit going into double Jerry Beansman from the deck. So he has rank 3 access, but first he's going to push over this Rose Whip here. Oh, only 50 more than the defense of that Rose Whip, actually. He's going for a Link 2 into Mrs. Radiant. Using the Miracle Fertilizer. But he can't play it during the turn that he normal summoned, so he can't play it this turn because he used the Rescue Rabbit. But he can just place it on the field, so he's just going to go with that. J Pereira just setting one again. Normal summoning a Beansman here, which does have the extra 500 attack. The Rose Whip gains that 500 defense as well. So Hardcore War is going to be taking some damage here. The Jerry Beansman, though, can still punch over it. A normal summon of Garnet here, that's on 24 currently. That's going to be able to wreck that Mrs. Radiant, which will get the float into a Jerry Beansman. So it's just sort of battle of the normal monsters at the moment. Summoning Naturia Cherries, which allows him to summon 2 more cherries if it goes. So he's going to have Link 3 access potentially here. Oh no, because they summon out face down. Oh, he's not going to be able to use those for the Link summons. Okay, so on the opposing side, normal summon of cherries and then making a Gnat Beast. That could be pretty huge if it's gonna go against all of the spells that Hardcore War has, but he's only got the Supervise and the Miracle Fertilizer, so he's just gonna turn these cherries into an Underclock. And normal summon the Jerry Beansman. Oh, and reduce down the Gnat Beast, and then he can just attack straight over, dealing some hefty damage here. Instant Fusion, the Noodles brought out on the other side. Goes into a Seraphonite, that's pretty interesting. And then normal summoning the Heroic Challenger Thousand Blade, so it looks like he was playing the Brilliant Engine, and that's going to give him Mrs. Radiant access. Now the Jerry Beansman is stronger because of this, but the Underclock is not, so that's going to be stuck on 1k. And that's going to punch straight over it. But the Jerry Beansman's still really strong here. Going to be able to attack straight over the Mrs. Radiant. And the Bean Soldier can punch in 2. That's pretty huge. So then out comes Heroic Challenger because he took some damage. You can just punch over that though because it's in defense. On the opposing side, Soul Charge into Gnat Beast. And the Seraphonite here. That's pretty intense. Putting J Pereira down to 400 life points. It's got to deal with all these plants on the opposing side. and Twin Twisters in order to take out the Miracle Fertilizer. What can Hardcore War do here to recover? So he can Akashic to bounce back that monster. Bring out the Carrotway Champion. And on the opposing side, we have Red Resonator summoning a Darlingtonia Cobra from hand. Looks like Jay Pereira bricked a little bit here. He does have access to another rank 5 though if he plays anymore. Those two going away, making the Phoenix, which is co-linked, so that's not going to be able to be destroyed by battle, which is pretty nice, but it's not going to make much difference here. It can attack into the Akashic, and it will be destroyed because obviously Jason does not own that monster. Then Cherry and Marto bring out the Carrotway Champion. Normal summon of Gnome Fire Blossom, and that's going to go into a Giga Plant, so pretty huge. 2400 going to be able to beat over those tiny monsters on the opposing side, and that is going to win Hardcore War the game. Okay, so we have a 48 card list for Hardcore War here, playing stuff like the Giga Plants, the Bamboo Shoots, recycling stuff with the Carrot, that's pretty cool. Then we've got the Inmatos, nice to see that as well. Mystic Tomato, a key card for a lot of this theme it seems, plus the normal monsters in here, the Bean Soldier and the Jerry Beans Man making their way into the series. Comboing off with the Rescue Rabbits. They're only playing 2 for some reason, not playing the 3. Some cool options though, stuff like the pineapples which float, and the cherries as well, also floating. And then obviously, you know, basically vaguely similar to sort of like Gigavise, because you got the Supervise and stuff in here. So some interesting stuff that you can work with, which is quite cool. As for the side, he's obviously gone for the triple burger in there, just so you get some extra, extra beef to go with your deck. So here's Jay Pereira's list. You can see he is maining the giant rats. He's got the glow bulb for floating and stuff, and he's also got some sort of vaguely combo-y stuff in here with the Lone Fire Blossoms that can go into the Ophrys Scorpio, and letting him basically play the Brilliant Engine combo that we saw in 60 card lists, and then generic removal stuff like the Raigeki and coming in here, plus the combo extenders with Monster Reborn and Soul Charge. So pretty interesting. Naturi is making up a large portion of this lineup. That Rose Whip coming in pretty clutch. Cliff is pretty useful as it floats, however, you don't want to be misusing it with the effect there, so just keep that in mind, that it will not float if it goes into a Link Summon or a Synchro Summon, because the last thing to happen is an optional when effect, and the last thing to happen was the successful summon of a monster, so it wasn't just sent to the grave at the end. But apart from that, really cool looking list. Great that you have access to all this sort of stuff in the extra deck, like the Borsword. There's a way into the Zolkin as well, so you can bring out the Crystal Wing too. Okay, so here we have Bubble Blue versus Lewis. We're seeing Bubble Blue side of things. We got some carrots in here, always good. He's drawn into the Giant Rat, the out for every board imaginable. We got some cherries too, and the Titanial. So what does this do? During either player's turn when a card or effect activates a target's card, tribute a plant to negate a targeting effect. That's pretty interesting. Let's just see what ends up happening here. So Lewis is going first, just setting 2. Almost a classic T-set. Obviously you want to play around Mech Knights. We're just setting a Cherry and Marto on this side, which turns into 2 Inmato monsters when it gets killed. That's pretty cool. The other side, Mystic Tomato coming out. So got a floater here, punching over the Inmato. That's going to get the effect off. And we go into 1 Inmato, 1 Cherry Inmato. So continuing on with the ability to float here, bringing out the World Carrotweight Champion, punching over a Mystic Tomato there with the Inmato. So everything's tomatoes and carrots here. Let's see what goes on. So Mystic Tomato into Mystic Tomato. 6 tomato face up somewhere on deep. Wow. 10 if you count all the Cherry and Martos as well. Jeeves. So called on the Mystic Tomato there. Which is going to stop the others from floating. World Carrotweight Champion punching in over this one. He's not going to get the search off that one, obviously. So then on the opposing side, we've got another carrot coming in, and an Eater of Millions, presumably going to try and gobble up all these vegetables that are currently on the board here. So the tomato punches over the cherry Inmato, bringing out another one, and an Inmato as well. While Carrot Weight Champion punches over the Inmato, and the Eater of Millions gobbling up that carrot. So going for a synchro play here, he's gone for the Armades, which will obviously stop the tomato from floating. Bring out the carrot again. It's just a nice 1900 attack monster that's also fitting with the theme here. So back to Lewis's turn. Let's bring out the Glow Up Bulb, which can be replaced for the Wild Carrot Weight. That's pretty cool. And then goes into the Castel, shuffles back the Armades, and that's going to be able to hit him for 2k. So I think it's fairly even at the moment. Bubbleblue's just drawn into a pineapple though, so I can turn that into a carrot. We've got some special cooking up here, changing pineapples into carrots, and on the other side turning a spore into a carrot. That's vegetable growth for you. I guess the Miloff, what does this send? Malicivorous Fork. He's playing Cutlery. He's playing Cutlery in the food deck. Maybe he's going to use it to help him eat all of the opposing food. So we've got a Link Summon here into the Unicorn. Discarding another Fork. That's going to shuffle away the face down. What was the face down? Oh, I don't know. And then hitting over the carrot. Taking back control. Pineapple comes back. Pineapples float. They do float if you leave them on water. Super Solar Nutrient, turning that into a Lone Fire Blossom. And that is going to bring out some bamboo shoots. Ooh, that's going to be tough. Obviously it's not big enough. So having to go via the cherries there to bring out a Splendid Rose. All the plants going on here. And then, what does this do? Once per turn you can banish one plant monster, target a face of halve its attack. Okay, so we have the attack of the Unicorn. That's pretty cool. And then what? Then banish... Oh, does he then get... If he banishes it again, can you do more? You can banish one plant, have this card's attack, and if you do, it can make... Okay, so he gets to attack with this a second time. That's pretty cool. Discarding the Tianiel, so that he can carrot. Oh no, hit by Torrential there. Ooh, Hydroponics not working out. The other side, Carrot Weight Champion coming in. Twice, and hitting him for 38. Oh, and a Foolish, sending the Bacon Saber. That's going to stop an attack. We have a giant rat here though. All he has to do is declare an attack in order to wreck all the food on the board. Is he gonna... Oh, he summons the rat, declares the attack, destroys all the food. Oh, there's a Bacon Saver. Oh no, that's gonna negate the attack. So he's not gonna be able to get to the damage step. Giant rat is not gonna destroy the food on the board. We've got a knife and a fork coming in here, clutch. Making the Link foreplay for Borreload. That's gonna take the rat. The rat can then declare an attack and destroy the destroy the Carrot Weight Champion by om-nom-nomming it to death. Oh, can Bubbleblu make a recovery? So the pineapple carries on floating. Borreload, yep, pretty strong, especially compared to all the plants that we got here. Going back into that carrot, setting the cherries, and the giant rat dies. Oh, but still got the Borreload. How is he going to be able to deal with this? So he takes the face down cherries. Could be pretty huge. Goes into a Linkuriboh with it. That's definitely going to stop most of the outs for the Borreload. Does Bubbleblu have access to anything that can actually deal with this 3k attack monster? Essentially 3-5 because of that damage, that attack reduction effect. Oh. So, what's he gone for? He's gone for the Omega here. Which can obviously just be reduced to 0 attack. And then banish a card from the hand. He doesn't have enough life points. Oh, he's just going to float with the Carrot Weight. Okay. Oh, but on the other side, there's another carrot. And that's enough for game. Lewis is going to take it here. The knife and the fork coming in clutch to make that Borreload. Who would have known? Knives and forks eating up all the food. Here's Bauble Blue's list from this theme. So we can see, again, it's another sort of plant-heavy archetype, or plant-heavy build. We've got the Inmatos here, so the cherries and the normals. He is maining the giant rat for just instant nuking of that board with the Om Nom Noms. Then we've got the really big plant monsters that we saw come out, which is pretty cool to see, just because Lonefire suddenly gives you a massive beta that you can just stick on the board. 2800 from a normal summon is quite nice. The OG arts, Mr. Tomato's in here, then some Naturia stuff actually, so Bamboo Shoots locking down your opponent, that's pretty awesome. And then obviously the Instant Fusion Noodles and the stuff like the Fertilizer and the Super Solar Nutrients going in here too. Side deck is sort of fairly generic, just teched out against a whole bunch of random stuff that might be coming up, and the extract has some pretty interesting spice in it, as we saw the Splendid Rose coming out. That can be pretty interesting, allowing people to sort of beat over Nat Beast and things like that. That's really cool as well. Alright, here we have Lewis's list from week 3, so let's just run through what he's got here. So, Bacon Saver. Eater of Millions, fairly explanatory. You know, you got the Glart Bulb, that's basically plant food, some more plants, and then of course the cutlery sneaking in, the Malicivorous fork, knife, and a spoon combination, digging his way through the opponent so he can gobble them all up. Man-Eater Bug, a triple Mystic Tomato, and then we've got stuff like Sweet Corn in here, the carrots as well, even the Golden Apples, actually, some mythology working its way in there. And then, of course, the giant rats, actually in the side, not bothering to put them in the main, and just sort of abusing these plant engines to really secure a strong foothold within this theme. Get your vote down into the comments and help our contestants win that all-important prize. As an honourable mention, we have this list from Vayu98. As you can tell, this is very much a Madolche list, kind of what we expected the meta to be for this particular theme. However, obviously, as you saw, people chose not to play Madolche as a major part. There's some really cool stuff in here, and there's some pretty interesting reasoning why some of this fits along with the sort of food theme. So obviously, all the Madolches are just sort of sweets, food, that kind of thing. The Glart Bulb is a plant, which is basically food for animals. The Ash Blossom, it fits into the same kind of category, you know. You got flowers on trees, that's essentially food for insects. Then obviously there's the burger, and then the explanation for the Brilliant Fusions is that in order to create a meal, you require a Brilliant Fusionist. So that kind of went into there as well, and then you can see in the side deck we've got some interesting stuff like the Bacon Sabers, the Intercept Tomatoes, and the Mystic Tomatoes, Mystic Woks even in the side as well there. Thanks so much to everyone who took part in this week's episode. As always, there were some incredible moments and phenomenal deck lists sent in to us. So today's episode is dedicated to St. Richard's Hospice. This is a charity that helps to enable the elderly to maintain a much more full life as they get older. They especially focus on in-home services, providing medical help as well as counselling, just enabling elderly to suddenly get more from their life in home, but they also provide inpatient units and a day hospice as well as further support. It's a really great charity. We're putting a link in the description so you can head over on and donate, and it would really mean a lot to us here, especially the BuilderTech group. Well, some of the members of this group actually have relatives who have been into care with St. Richard's Hospice, and it's been a great improvement for them. Definitely well worth supporting this hospice if you can spare some money for them. Thank you all for watching this series and helping the community to grow. We've got some amazing themes coming up in the next few episodes, so be sure to hang around, subscribe to the channel, and keep following along with BuilderTech.